Warning, folks, train strikes every day in December and January 2023. Reports of wide-scale walkouts with confirmed dates. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. People are being warned to prepare and brace for severe disruptions during Christmas. And here, check this out. Check this out.
We're announcing 4 weeks of industrial action. From today, we will be putting on a series of 48-hour strikes in December and January after industry negotiators representing Network Rail and the train operators failed to offer any new deals to reach a settlement. So over 40,000 members across Network Rail and the 14 train operating companies will take a series of 48-hour strikes on the 13th and 14th and 16th and 17th of December, and then again on January the 3rd and 4th and the 6th and 7th. There will also be an overtime ban across the railways of all of our members from the 18th of December until the 2nd of January, meaning that we'll be taking continuous industrial action for more than 4 weeks.
So over in the UK, the RMT Union, the National Union of Rail, Maritime and Transport Workers, is it's a British trade union covering the transportation and transport sector. And they've revealed that more than 40,000 workers across Network Rail and 14 train operating companies will stage a series of 48-hour walkouts, folks. And they have released a full list, December 2022 strikes, full list of planned strike dates for train, Royal Mail, nurses, and other workers. Now, this is of a huge concern. We're going to touch more on that in just a little bit. More on that in a moment. And most importantly, what these planned strikes mean for you and I here, right here at home, okay? But first, what I really want to do is I want to give credit where credit is due. I want to highlight an individual who actually reached out to me, sent me an email, asked me some questions about how he can take actions and take steps to improve his YouTube channel and ultimately generate additional streams of income by way of the monetization that can come from content creation, as well as building out his business and building out his brand, and has since joined the network and has immediately begun to reap the benefits of being in the network and has immediately taken action. And John Hughes, I want to say thank you to John Hughes for just reaching out and, taking the steps on your own to connect and utilize the resources that are being provided to everybody in the network, everybody who's joined the patreon.com/Kevin247. It says, I want to read you this reply to a post that he put. John Hughes wrote, "Greetings, everybody. My YouTube channel is John Hughes Morning Focus. My goal is to share health and nutrition tips, goal setting and achievement, ideas and life philosophy to help people with life struggles. I also am looking to develop life coaching relationships to be able to share some perspective that I've gained through the years. Please check it out and subscribe." Folks, please check it out. Link in the description. Please check it out. Subscribe. His about description reads, health tips, weight loss, fitness, personal development, motivation, how to cook stuff, lifestyle, goal setting and achievement, birthdays and celebrations, and reflections. Folks, go check him out and subscribe. You too can make it happen. You too can make it happen with some hard work, some education, some effort, and definitely with the network, helping to accelerate your growth and possibly avoid costly time-wasting mistakes. Because honestly, right now, time is of the essence, and we do need to be preparing quickly and diligently and effectively. According to reports, a recent survey found that 70% of Americans struggling to pay grocery bills, and many are forced to rely on government assistance, government food assistance programs, and coupons. Food stamps, EBT, WIC, whatever the other programs are, PEBT, Social Security benefits. According to reports, recent surveys found 70% of Americans are struggling to pay grocery bills. Folks, this is alarming. This is alarming, not necessarily because of the actual data of 70%, but for the fact that the food prices are going to continuously decline. Food prices are continuously going to go up. Inflation is going to continuously go up, and incomes are continuously going to be stretched. Global conflict between Russia and Ukraine are making it tougher to find certain foods at that, folks. eggs, flour, bread, fresh vegetables, the veggies, the good stuff, frozen meals, ice cream, butter, soda, candy, beef, avocados, coffee, seafood, bacon, fresh fruit, cereal, chocolate, granola, potato chips, and chicken top the list of some foods that are being reported of being hard to find. Not to mention, if you can find them, the price. Bread now costs $10 a loaf for just some plain old white bread in certain stores, certain areas. As far as what I'm being told, what's going on? Like, what is going on? This is a countless struggle, which is why I see so many people reaching out and joining the network and beginning to build their businesses and develop their side hustle income streams, multiple income streams, investments, budgeting, savings, investing for beginners, saving for beginners, building businesses for beginners, getting their YouTube channels running and off the ground, working towards monetizing their content, building their brand, and trying to increase their income to afford the higher prices of living. And the question is, it's like, well, what does all this have to do with railroad workers and a railroad strike? I didn't completely lose focus here, folks. The supply and demand imbalance fueled by supply chain disruptions, inflation, price increases, and price hikes, price fixing, price gouging. Folks, the nation's economy relies heavily on railway freight. Even Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon, is depending on these BNSF and Norfolk Southern Railway cars to keep his Amazon distribution centers full of product. CSX, Union Pacific, folks, if these railway freight companies were to stop the trains and halt the freight, Amazon would likely see the possible threat of having to lay off hundreds of thousands more employees than what has already been announced. Can you imagine the devastation? And over across the pond, strikes by workers, around the country in disputes over pay, pensions, jobs, and conditions are set to escalate in the weeks up to Christmas and into January. iNews reports the UK is facing a repeat of the winter of discontent in the late 70s as workers across various industries prepare to strike over pay, jobs, pension, and conditions in the face of soaring inflation. Folks, this is not just here in America. This is all around the world. This is all different countries. Which ultimately means that what we see happening in other countries can ultimately happen here, okay? Good and or bad. We need to be prepared for that. Rail staff, nurses, and postal workers are among those expected to walk out, scaling back the capacity of basic services over the festive season. These are essentials, folks, and if they are feeling the squeeze because of the economy and the inflation and they decide to put their foot down, where would that put us, okay? Put us in grave danger. This could be devastating for the country over the holiday season. If something like this were to happen here in the United States, well, folks, let's just say we would be in a world of hurt, okay? We narrowly avoided a total economic collapse that would have cost the U.S. economy an estimated $2 billion per day. However, this was at the expense of the workers. Some thrown under the bus, so to speak. Congress deeming the rail strike illegal is a blow to workers' rights everywhere. So, unionized railroad workers recently ready to strike after 3 years of failed contract negotiations led to pay that didn't keep up with inflation and almost no paid or unpaid sick leave at all. The strike was slated to start just before the holidays, but an intervention from Congress and the Biden administration forced the unions to accept the White House's proposed deal. I don't even know if that was a deal. It was an order. And Congress forcing the railroad unions to accept the deal has effectively stopped the hope of a strike dead in its tracks. But this might only be the start of a worrying trend for the American worker. A worrying trend for the American worker. Folks, I hope you guys are paying attention to what is going on here and what's being said here and the expectations and possibilities of the future of tomorrow for the American worker. And the worst part about it, all of this, is that we've seen it before. So check this out. The Railway Labor Act of 1927 was specifically created to give Congress the power to bust unions and stop strikes. And yes, literally almost 100 years and 100 years later, and we're still dealing with the same problems because we haven't learned anything. But what we can learn is that the government will step in and take control and put their foot down at the expense of the people. Okay. And perhaps we may see history yet again repeat itself after the Reagan administration's firing of union government workers cleared the way for private employers to do the same in the 80s. And President Biden's actions here may signal a similar open season on unions and workers across the country. And many workers say they feel sold out by Biden in particular and have every right to feel that way. In a speech last September, Biden himself called himself pro-labor and stated his intent, quote unquote, to be the most pro-union president leading the most pro-union administration in American history. Yet in the years since that speech, he has clearly shown his loyalties are not with the American worker. Sorry, not sorry. But the simple fact of the matter is that this tweet here pretty much sums it up. If railroad workers go on strike, they could tank the entire economy. OK, it appears that this reality has been aborted before it could have ever even actually happened by forcefully taking away the rights of the American people and the workforce that risks their lives to keep railway freight, a third of the U.S. supply chain, moving every single day. Folks, coming up next, I need to tell you guys about this. This is crazy. Folks, they are going to suffer. This is what the headline reads. Railroad workers likely facing the potential suffering, but also shareholders and investors, folks. And so basically anybody who's investing, anybody who's clicked the link in the description down below and signed up for the Moomoo app and has started learning investing for beginners and started getting your free stocks, because they have an unbelievable stock deal going on right now. Go check it out. Get your free stocks before the end of the year. This is going to be some really important information that you're going to want to be paying attention to, and that could have some impact on your portfolio and your investments. And you're going to want to make sure you don't miss that. So make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon, because that way you'll be alerted when I upload new videos. You don't want to miss that. And, until next time, folks, you guys take care. Be safe. I'll see you. Bye.